So I'm putting a detuner into my Squier Jag base. It's a Hipshot BT7, which I am assured will be a direct replacement for that. Here's the old tuner. I had to very carefully use a screwdriver to tap that bushing out that was in here, because it was in there quite tight. Very, very, very gently tap that out, otherwise I was worried I was going to chip that. So now this here should be hopefully direct replacement. So it's got the movable plate on top, and it's got its own bushing there and some screws. So I have to undo that screw and take the top plate off. So now that screw comes out, and that roundy round thing with teeth on it, and then the top can come off. And now I've got this part, and I'm holding on to that, the string post, so I can see if it fits nicely in there, and I will be super happy if those screw holes line up with the old ones. Let's have a look. Okay, so I've got the post going through there to line it up, and look at that. Let me just, a little bit of adjustment there. I think those screw holes are going to line up enough, I hope, but I don't have to do any extra drilling or filling and re-drilling and all that kind of carry on. Let's find out. Now, you can't reuse the old screws because they have a slightly rounded top, and these need to be flat so that that part can slide over it with not catching on anything. Just now I did hear a slight snapping or cracking sound as I put the last screw in, which made me a little worried. That's one way of putting it. So I've just taken them all out again, and thank goodness everything looks okay. It is a little tight because they're just ever so slightly off, but I think it's going to be okay. I think it was just the sound of one of the screw threads settling into the holes. Let's see how we go. So the screws are in. I can feel that they're not sitting completely flat though, because these ones have had to go on a bit of an angle. I guess we'll see what happens when I put the thing back together. There is this thing that's going to go on there, so I'm hopeful that that will stop the screws from catching on the other part of the mechanism. Except just now I've realised I think it goes on top of that bit, not in between them. Oh, we'll find out. No, it doesn't. I've just looked at a previous video that I did, and that goes on there, and then this thing goes on top, so it should be all good. Fingers crossed. It would be handy if I had a spare hand to hold this together. I'm trying to do this one-handed to show you what's going on. So the white washer is in between the top and the bottom plates. That's going to line up with that thing. This is hard one-handed. There we go. And we had one of these to put back in. That's going to be real hard one-handed. 1 second. Hey, that looks like it's working. I was worried that this corner was going to hit the plate of the next tuner, but because of the little washer thing, it goes above it, which you can't quite see there. Oh, there. So that's pretty good, eh? Because that means I haven't wasted my money. I'll string it up and see how we go. Of course, I will also have to put that back in. If that doesn't just pop in there now, then I'll probably have to take the whole thing apart and off again to tap it in. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Still, makes good video. Yes, I did have to take all that stuff off again to get this in. I could almost get it in just with a bit of pressure with the old hands, but what I'm going to do is cushion something under the neck to lift it off the floor, and then a bit of a towel or something over the top and gentle hammering. I do not like hammering my instruments, but except metaphorically, but in this case I shall, very gently. A disgusting old t-shirt that I've been using as an oil rag. More like fretboard oil, nothing too disgusting, even though it looks it. Some cardboard packing that I found that's keeping all the important bits off the ground, and then just covering that and very gently persuading it in. Seems to be working. Okay, that's more like it. That's on there, that's in there, pretty good. Now time to string that up. Right, so the E string is in tune again now with this lever in the E position, standard position. So now, see if I can get this in frame. It's not working. What I want to do is get that position, which I want to be the note D, by tightening or loosening this. So it works by just stopping against that post. So it's the distance here that determines the tuning. So if you screw it back and that's shorter, it goes lower pitch, and screw it the other way so that that's longer and it'll be a higher pitch because it's closer to standard. Let's see if that works. One thing I had not thought about is whether that would work nicely on the stand, on the grabber. Kind of doesn't really. I have to ever think about that. Alright, I think I've pretty much got it. Took a few up and downs of the lever as the instructions said to settle in the main tuning. Just trying to get this both in shot here with my tuner. Take my word for it, that's pretty close on the E. And then the old D. E. D. So this is kind of exciting, apart from the thing about it doesn't really work on my wall hanger anymore, which is a bit annoying because I like seeing stuff on the wall and playing it every day. I'll probably just use a different stand now. But amazing, because I have pretty much no manual skills at all, and I've replaced the standard tuner with a D tuner. So if you've been thinking about doing that, I'd encourage you to have a go and just take it slow and easy, and that should be pretty cool. Can't wait to try that out for reals somewhere. Cheers.